There is power to end hunger. There is power to end poverty. There is power to end pollution. And there is power to end war. Our planet has been receiving this energy for billions of years. A very, very small part of it has been stored as fossil and nuclear fuels. But now all of this energy is accessible. We can now get all of the energy we will ever want or need directly from the sun, and from the wind, the tides, and from the earth itself. The energy is here, and we have the technology to capture it.
This is Buckminster Fuller. He was often referred to as the Leonardo da Vinci of our time. He received numerous honorary doctorates and was a recognized expert in over 40 disciplines. Bucky, as he preferred to be called, spent 55 years of his life creating a new technology to capture the universe's power and end many of our problems. You may be familiar with this building. It is a new style of architecture created by Bucky. It allows the construction of buildings independent of size. Buildings can be built as large as a planet if we want. This is perhaps Bucky's most famous structure, the geodesic dome. It covers the largest area with the least amount of material. They can now be found all over the world. This is an octet truss. It was invented by Bucky in 1953. It can support great weight with very little material. It not only is strong enough to support highway signs, it is being employed in the new space station. But Bucky created many other things. This is his Dymaxion car that was built in 1927. He also created the world's most accurate map. In his research group, World Game, Bucky learned two things. First, when electricity comes into an area, hunger disappears. Population explosion stops, and people live longer. Take electricity away from somewhere and that area automatically becomes underdeveloped. Provide electricity to an area and the standard of living immediately begins to rise. He also learned that since 1945 there has been a growing network of electric grids around the world. Bucky proposed connecting all of them into one transmission system and creating a global energy internet. This will provide electricity to everyone on Earth. But it was after the global grid is complete that the real magic begins.
If we do free ourselves from these old ideas, these obsolete traditions that have been handed to us at birth, then we have a reality here and now, full of opportunities and possibilities far beyond our imaginations. But it's only here if we have the courage to rid ourselves of the hold on the hearts and minds of these ideas that tell us that we're different. Different religions, different races, different genders, different countries, different this, different that. These ideas that echo inside of our heads and in our news media that never stop. It just go yam.
Hello, my name is Maud. I'm from Juba City, on part of the planet called Sudan, but I am a world citizen.
Hello, my name is Maciej.
Beata, Eva.
We are from Žilina.
On a part of the planet called Slovakia.
But we are world citizens.
Hello, my name is Roy. I'm from Shanghai, on a part of the planet called China, but I am a world citizen.
These great sources of renewable energy are now remote and isolated. The global energy grid unites all of these renewable sources of power into one global transmission system. And with one side of the planet always facing the sun, we can collect the non-stop, pollution-free, abundant flow of power for the improvement of life for everyone on Earth. It will provide more energy than we can ever possibly use. There is nothing we cannot do. There is enough solar energy hitting any city on Earth in one day to power everyone's home for a year. This available clean energy is millions of times greater than the dirty energy we get from all the fossil and nuclear fuels combined.
Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration.
Buckminster Fuller's global energy grid is something we can build now. For how many years did people dream of flying through the air? And the Wright brothers made it a technological choice. We have the technology to do this. We have the resources to do this. We have the knowledge to do this. We have the necessity to do this. And we have the opportunity to do this. But first, we have to get out of the box of ideas that we were put into as children. These ideas that draw lines around our lives and ask us to color our lives inside of these lines of what we've been taught. But this new way of thinking is about life outside the lines. It's time for us to color outside the lines. Our future is literally in our hands. Now that we can see the earth as it really is, one thing is perfectly clear. There are no dotted lines on it. There are no little colored pieces saying this country and that country and this country. Now the air is here, and the land is here, and the water is here, and we are here. But there are no countries. People once thought that the world was flat. We believe we live in countries. But we do not live in countries. They live in us.
Throughout human history, we have imprisoned ourselves within these artificial countries. Loyalty to these artificial countries has provided endless reasons for humans to war with one another. As long as we believe we live in countries, war will never stop. And it is expensive. This planet spends the equivalent of $1 trillion American dollars every year on weapons to protect these countries that do not even exist. The money wasted on these artificial countries comes from our labor and out of our pockets.
It's been estimated that about $250 billion of the $1 trillion we're now spending on guns can end almost every practical problem we're facing. For $30 billion, we can make the basic connections to farm Buckminster Fuller's global energy grid. For another $70 billion, we can extend that to the whole world and begin to raise the standard of living of everyone on Earth. Here's a list of things that this money we're spending on guns might solve.
If we keep doing things the same old way, we can only expect to get the same old results.
Solving these initial problems, we have $750 billion left in order to free us from the misery of the past. To build a future of peace and prosperity for ourselves and our children. And after that, there's another $1 trillion. And the year after that, another $1 trillion. And the year after that, another $1 trillion. Until eventually we have wealth at the same level we have air. Buckminster Fuller says that we are a type of creature that never learns less, that we learn something new every day. And since we have been here for thousands and thousands of years, we have been learning nonstop the whole time. And now it's gotten to the point that we need computers to keep up with it all. But we live our reality, we live our real lives inside the nightmare of ideas that are just not true.